Should we start work on a Friday? Generally speaking, the answer to that question is no, but not for the reasons that you might think. Many people will say the reason you don't start work on a Friday is because that means that you'll have to include weekends in the cycle time. So it's better to just wait and start that work on Monday so those weekends aren't included, because those weekends will inflate the cycle time. I did a video before this one that debunked that myth that including weekends actually inflates cycle time. Hopefully we can link to that video from here. So that's cycle time, and inflating cycle time is not the reason that you should not start work on a Friday. The real reason is, think about the mechanics of how work works. If you were to pull work in on a Friday, and I think this is especially true, say if it's a Friday afternoon. If it's a Friday afternoon, you're maybe, if you're lucky, going to be able to dedicate maybe an hour or two of work on that item, and then you leave for the day, maybe go out for a happy hour, the whole weekend happens. You come back on Monday morning. When you get back on Monday morning, you're probably flooded with a request of stuff that has come in over the weekend. You probably got a daily scrum or a stand-up to go to, and it's probably mid to late morning before you're actually able to get, again, if you're lucky, before you're able to pick that work back up that you started on Friday. Well, if all that time has passed between when you started and when you pick it back up again, chances are you're not going to remember what you did on Friday, and you're probably going to have to spend another hour relearning what you did, a few days before. So now you've wasted, 2 hours instead of maybe just the 1 hour if you would have just picked it up on Monday. The better strategy, again, generally speaking, the better strategy, if it's Friday and you're looking for work to do, is to find something else on the board that you can help with, especially something maybe that's very, very close to being done. Take a look at the board and say, hey, is there something that I can help with, and maybe get that thing across the finish line before we all go home for the weekend. And by the way, that strategy works pretty much anytime that you finish work. It's not just for work that finishes on a Friday. Colleague of mine, good friend of mine, his name is Frank Vega. In the early days of Kanban, he implemented this look up, look right, look left rule. And the idea was that any time that you finish work, you look at, the column that you're working in right now. Presumably you're working in a column that you have expertise in. So you look at the column that you're working in right now and say, is there anything else in this column that I can help out with? If not, I look right, assuming flow is happening from left to right. I look right and say, is there anything that is closer to being done that I can help get done? If nothing over there, then you look left and you say, is there anything upcoming that I can help with to help flow, get that work flowing through the process a little bit better? So look up, look right, look left. And that's the idea, is anytime you finish work, your first instinct, generally, again, your first instinct should be, is there something else on the board that I can help with before I can start something new? This is the general Kanban principle. If you've probably heard this and you're probably sick of this cliche, but it is stop starting, start finishing. So in short, or I guess in longer, should work start on Fridays? Probably not, for all the reasons that we just talked about, but not because you're worried about your metrics and you think it's going to inflate cycle time. If anything, starting work on a Friday would help your cycle time metrics. For more information on that, see the other video. I hope this has helped. Keep having those questions come in, and happy forecasting. Thanks, everyone.